Hello. Beep, 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 beep. How you all doing? Welcome to the court of the Edijester. As promised, here is a an investigation of sorts. Here's me digging around in the dirt. Here's me going back in time. So I ask you to join me. I'm not going to take you through the whole damn thing. I'm going to give you a rundown of what it is. Then you can go and read it. The article is on Twitter. And the PDF is available to Substack subscribers on my Substack. It's essentially the PDF of the same article. Now, here's the interesting thing. I came across this. It came to me. I've acquired it. And I think it's really interesting. So I'm going to throw it out there for the rest of you to have a look at. And the title of it is EDI DEI is Destroying Child Safeguarding. Origin story? Question mark. And I'm asking myself the question when I was reviewing all this, is this ground zero? And I think it might be, in which case I found the people that did it. That's what this particular article is about and why I think it's so important that you should engage with it. What I've done is, for those of you, and there are quite a few, Canadian, Australian, New Zealand, Sweden, all over the world who follow me, what I've done is the article's really essentially in two parts. So I've given you a breakdown of a little history about safeguarding in Britain. I'm no expert on the history of safeguarding whatsoever, but I've given you a little breakdown just so you can see how it's come to fruition. Because it's important to remember that Britain has led the world on safeguarding. It literally has. We've been consulted on this, but right across the world on safeguarding. And it's a very, very important part of society because it is something that covers us all. It doesn't matter if you're Mrs. Enid Tokrush from 5 Acacia Avenue and you're 90, or whether you're Mark, who's 16 and eager to please. Right? Don't make a difference if he's going to work and he wants to work with kids. Safeguarding covers us all, right? It does. It covers us all. And it is the primary lens through which we should be viewing anything to do with EDI, which includes critical social justice, all that nonsense, but particularly queer theory and the adoption by anyone of a trans identity. It is a red flag the size of Birmingham. So the first part of this article is a breakdown, a rough breakdown of the history of safeguarding. I then follow up with my hypothesis, and this is my hypothesis. Unconscious bias training, a root of EDI, DEI, and the most pernicious lie ever foisted on the people of the UK, and which was woven itself into the fabric of professional and private life, from schools to hospitals to social services and more, aimed at modifying your thinking in service to a perceived utopia. It has torn families and friendships apart, made us weaker as individuals, as a society, and on the world stage. I then ask, is it hyperbole? Well, probably. I'll let you decide about that. But the argument is that I have now found ground zero, where unconscious bias was first introduced as a mandatory requirement for all UK civil service staff in 2014. And it was stipulated at the time, I remember this because I worked with them, that only specialised trainers could present this unconscious bias training. I did not know then, but I do now, why that was so. For this, in essence, is a psychosocial attempt to upend your natural instincts and ability to spot danger. It is profoundly weakening and profoundly dangerous. And I honestly believe that what we've got here is ground zero for most of that which ails us today in terms of its proliferation. What the state does feeds out into everything else. What the state takes on feeds out elsewhere. It may have come from academia, and most certainly in this case it did, a rather fetid arse end of it. But what the state does dictates what comes next. Hundreds of thousands of civil servants were put through this. And it did nothing except empower narcissistic, subclinical psychopaths. That's all it did. It may have come from good intentions, I don't know. But it certainly came from the stable of the ideas of an elite that think you are poorly and must be made well so that your thoughts remain pure. I have the entire training course, every single slide, every handout. and you have to see it to believe it. I put some examples in the article that I'm hoping you'll go to now read. I urge you to think carefully about this. Baroness Emma Nichols has asked me to send her what I've found, and I will. We need to drag these people into the sunlight. A reckoning needs to happen. Because if I'm right, this is ground zero that disabled an entire safeguarding complex in just one country. Ours. Where will it go next? I'll wait for you to tell me I'm wrong. Subscribe, buy me a coffee, but most of all, if you want to come and help fight this nonsense, come and be a warrior teacher. We've never ever needed people who are willing to do the fighting before like we do now. Come and join the rest of us. Come and become part of the team. This isn't going away. The fight is still on, and I think will be on for a very long time indeed. Thank you very much for listening to me warble, say all sorts of nonsense and do the usual. Go buy me a coffee or something. This was hard work. I've been at it most of the night. Hey! Thank you all so much for your support. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.